how do we distinguish between contract of sale and assignment? The way law school set this in exam, I will give you the clue, but I'm explaining. If you hear that the parties have agreed to transact, or that the vendor has agreed to sell and the purchaser has agreed to what? Buy, the transaction is what? Contract of sale. But if it is assignment, what you're going to hear is that the assigner has conveyed or transferred his unexpired residue. What is the unexpired residue? Remember that the land we are talking about is government land, that you have 99 what? Years. And the man probably must have lived 40 years before he wanted to sell the what? Land. If he's now selling that land, he's no longer selling the whole 90. How much is he selling now? That is the unexpired what? Residue. And we call it assignment because the assignment is total transfer of the remaining interest. So that the title of that property permanently now moves from the vendor to the what? Purchaser. And the document they're going to execute will be what? Deed of what? Assignment. It requires governor's consent. Because if you don't get governor's consent, you will have committed an offense. But because you have breached the provision of section 22 of Land Use Act, which says that any transfer of interest in land without governor's consent is what? Null and void. It also has judicial interpretation in the case of Savannah Bank versus what? Agilo, which was later qualified by the authority of Awojibwe Light Industries versus what? Chinukwe. There is a deviation. Savannah Bank versus Agilo says that if you did not get governor's consent, that transaction is what? Void, ab initio. But Awojibwe Light Industries, Supreme Court, amended it, saying that that judgment was harsh, meaning that if you did not get governor's consent, you have not bought land. Then they use milk of equity to mellow it down. Awojibwe Light Industries say now that the transaction is now inchoate, is no longer what? Complete. Which means that even if you did not obtain governor's consent originally, but later on went ahead to do what? Obtain it, the transaction is still what? Valid. I don't want to get it. Okay, so what we have succeeded in doing is that we have tried to let you know that we have what they call property transactions. And in sale of land alone,